Hello everybody and welcome to another video with me, Matt Goddard from the Boxing Locker. Today I'm going to talk about the fight this weekend that's coming up between Artur Beterbiev and our British man, Anthony Yarde. Okay, now, first things first, okay, I'm going to cover something now. There seems to be a real kind of against Anthony Yarde vibe in a lot of the British public now. I understand where that's coming from if everybody feels like I do. And for me, that sort of aspect is coming from the sort of divisive nature of Tunde Ajayi as a kind of promotional asset, you know, in the press conferences and the kind of manner in which he talks up Yarde. I think it's been detrimental to Yarde's growth and popularity. I think Anthony himself is now also, just to add there, Tunde has done an incredible thing as a coach to get a guy with minimal experience. I think he only had 13 amateur fights to a stage where he's challenged for world titles twice. I mean, you know, he's boxed British at every level you could possibly want. He's done incredibly well as a trainer. I just think from a media perspective, he hasn't necessarily always come across that well. And also, you know, people often down talk the lines in the camp thing that happened during the Kovalev fight, and perhaps he's learned from that. You know, he himself is a relatively inexperienced coach with regards to fighters boxing for world titles. So what do you expect? You know, it's a learning process. Teddy Atlas, Freddie Roach, these guys weren't immediately excellent. They gained experience and they got that way over time. Ajayi hasn't had that opportunity yet, and I think he will, because he's proven that he can do it with a guy like Anthony Yarde, and Yarde's given him everything and a lot of trust along the way. So anyway, back on the Anthony Yarde. Anthony Yarde comes across a really nice guy. He carries himself very well. He's very humble. He isn't too brash and aggressive. He is a good role model. You know, he's taken himself from next to no experience, and now he's at a world championship level once again. You know, he's overcome adversity. He's been through some horrific situations and circumstances in his personal life over the last couple of years. Very, very unpleasant for the guy. And you know, he still just excels, and I admire him greatly. I'm a big fan of him personally, and I like his boxing. I like the shoulder, I like the Philly shell style, I like the countering, I like the quick work. So look, I'm a big Anthony Yarde fan. With all that being said, he has chosen arguably the most dangerous fighter on the planet to take on at light heavyweight, at any weight really. This guy is just a destroyer. He's a devastator. He's a decimator, all the D's that you can possibly think of. Artur Beterbiev hits hard, he hits fast. As Anthony Yarde said, not that quick, but fast enough to do the damage and land the punches. He's got good timing. He showed in the Joe Smith Jr. fight that he can box, move, and hit hard on the move, which is really impressive. Punches at unconventional angles and lands in unconventional places. How is this fight going to play out? Okay, so it's a great fight, a really, really good fight. I think it's going to be exciting. I don't think Beterbiev is capable of being in a fight that isn't exciting. You know, every other bout has just been excellent to watch. He's a naturally exciting guy, and I'm looking forward to this fight for a number of reasons. The first reason is that I think Anthony Yarde is being underrated in this fight. I think actually this really depends on how Beterbiev tries to box. I think Yarde's vulnerabilities are definitely at range. In close, I think his defense is actually a lot better than people give him credit for, and I think it works quite well. I think he's in danger from long straight shots and overhands, and also in close to being clipped around the back of the ears and on the top of the head in the manner that Beterbiev likes to punch. The body he covers really nicely. If he does get caught there, it's going to hurt. Beterbiev hits hard, and he always hits hard. Beterbiev, we demonstrated in the Callum Johnson fight that he's vulnerable, you know. His defense isn't exceptional, his movement is good, and his punch power is good, but you can't hit that hard without leaving yourself vulnerable at points. If you look historically through every enormous puncher in history, they've all had exactly the same problem. They've all been vulnerable to being hit because you have to commit to your shots, and I think Beterbiev is going to have to commit, and that's going to give Yarde an opportunity. Again, with that being said, do I think that's going to occur? No. I think one of two things is going to happen. I think either Beterbiev is going to wipe out Anthony Yarde in 2 rounds, which I would be a little bit surprised about, but I think that is always a chance. I think he starts at a good pace, and he starts as he means to go on. So he's going to hit you hard, he's going to hit you all over the place, and he's going to do damage. Or I think Yarde boxes nicely for the first 5 or 6 rounds. Keep getting clipped with punches. May even be up on the cards in the same manner as I had him against Kovalev. But at that point, I then see Beterbiev striking hard and continuing to strike into a late stoppage in 9 or 10. So sadly for Anthony Yarde, who, as I mentioned, I'm a big fan of, I just think he's chosen the wrong guy. I would be absolutely thrilled if I was completely wrong. I mean, I hope as a British boxing fan, as a fan of Anthony Yarde, as a fan of Tunde Ajayi, the coach, as a fan of British boxing excelling in a world arena, I hope that Yarde can beat Beterbiev. It would be on par with the best foreign world championship wins. World championship wins against foreign opponents and big names that we've ever seen. Lloyd Honeyghan, Donald Curry levels. What is next after that is the Bivol fight either way, because then that solidifies the division, and that's what we want, more undisputed champions. So as I said, my prediction is either a Beterbiev blast out, bad luck, Yarde gets caught with a couple of shots early and is spent. I think he's got a good chin, so I think that's unlikely. It just depends on the nerves. He's been through this before and he's lost. Is his resilience, is his mental fortitude there to go into the ring confident and strong? After that point, I think if he gets through that, he'll probably be ahead on the cards boxing nicely before Beterbiev really starts to have success. In the same way as he started having success against Vosdik. Once he takes the jab away, you're in a bit of trouble. And I think that may happen in the sort of 6th, 7th rounds leading to a Beterbiev late stoppage. That's my most likely prediction. As I said, fingers crossed for Anthony Yarde. Praying, legs, arms, everything crossed. Hope to the gods. Let's see what happens. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the rest of my content. And as always, thank you for watching till the end. I really appreciate you.